Let's go. Hi, my name is Amr, and today I'm going to show you how I can make my special baklava. The ingredients are, first we have to make the syrup, and the syrup is made from 1 full cup, like this one, of white sugar, and another full cup of cold water. You mix them up in a pan like this, and you put them on the stove, and you mix them up with low heat, and you keep mixing it up from time to time for about 30 minutes until it's consistent and it becomes a little bit thicker. Towards the end, I would say it's about 30 minutes on the stove, or maybe 45 minutes. And then after that, towards the end, you put a couple of drops of lemon juice so it won't become crystallized. So this is the first part. The second part is the ingredients are phyllo dough. This is the kind you find in Arabic store, but if you cannot go to Arabic store or there is no Arabic store next to you, you can actually go, Greek stores by the way as well sell it, and the Safeway, Giant, any supermarket, they have a phyllo dough. It may be a different brand, but it will do the job. And 2 sticks of butter, and coconut flakes, and cinnamon, ground cinnamon, 1 pound of walnut. The better ones are chopped walnut, but if you don't have, you can have the shelled walnut, and you can just smash it into small pieces. And brown sugar. If I miss any of the ingredients, we can just tell you about it when I'm doing it. So that's basically all the ingredients we have. The first thing we have to do, I bought the normal shelled walnuts, so therefore I have to chop it. And while it's still in the bag, I'm going to have a small tenderizer like that, and I'm just going to keep smashing it until it becomes a small piece, almost like a chickpea size or a little bit less. So I'm going to just keep smashing it this way until it becomes crushed. So you're going to keep doing this, and then I'll tell you the next step after I'm done. So now I'm doing the filling of the baklava. We start with the walnuts, 1 pound. I crushed it, as I said. It should be small like this. You can just buy it straight from the store with chopped walnuts, which actually will do a better job. But anyway, they both can do the job. And then we'll add to it a coconut flakes, like 2 handfuls of coconut flakes, like so. And if you like, you can put a little bit more. It's to the taste. Then we have cinnamon. A few sprinkles of cinnamon like this. If you want to measure it, I would actually estimate it as like half teaspoon. Don't put too much, because too much would give it that cinnamony taste that may actually be not too good. Some people like that, some people don't. And then we get a brown sugar. And the brown sugar, the trick with the brown sugar is it's sticky. So I put again like a couple of handfuls with my hand, and as I was saying, it's sticky. So when you mix it up, it actually gets mixed nice and smooth. So it sticks together as much as possible, right? So, and I'm going to start, take a spoon, I'm going to start mixing. So far, I put coconut, brown sugar, and walnuts, and cinnamon. And I mix it up, and as you can see, it mixes up nicely. However, it's still like kind of dry. So the next trick is the syrup that we already made, and it's cold and cool. We can put few spoons on the mix, and that would put consistency to it and make it stick together, right? Keep it on the side, and we mix it, press and mix like that. just have a little bit more. So the sweetness inside the filling of the baklava with the syrup and the coconut, which is sweet, and the brown sugar will make it sweet from the inside. So when we put the syrup on the top, when it comes out from the oven, we don't need to have too much syrup put on it. So what we have should be enough. Now it's coming along very well, and it's becoming more consistent and kind of sticky together, so it will be nice for the filling. That's the next step. So now we finish with the filling of the baklava. We wanted to have the butter, so the butter will actually help us in put everything together. I have 2 sticks of butter, unsalted butter, and I'm just gonna, empty them and put them in this pot. And another one. Again, the 2 sticks of butter should be enough. If you need a little bit more, that's fine. If not, that should be enough. And we put them on the stove to melt. And I'll be right back. Okay, so while the butter is melting, now I just want to talk to you about the phyllo. We have to have the counter clean. I clean it up really well because actually the phyllo will be, part of it will be on the counter, and it's supposed to be very clean. So you clean it up, and we have the phyllo, and the phyllo you buy it frozen, and when you buy it, when you want to use it, you take it the night before, put it in the fridge, and then an hour or half hour before you start using it, you take it out to have a room temperature. So that's what I did. I took it out yesterday from the freezer, put it in the fridge, and I took it out for about 30 minutes. You empty the phyllo, and it's very delicate. You don't want to keep it outside in the air for too much time without butter brushing it, right? It comes in a plastic bag like this, in a plastic wrap like this, right? That's the phyllo. So this is the tray that I'm going to make the baklava. It's 16-inch by 11-inch, and it has to be a little bit low of the height, so it will actually be filling, the baklava will be filling it. And this is the phyllo dough. Cut it, take it out, open it. It has tape like this. Keep it on the plastic, hold it, right? And the size of it is actually the size of the tray. The first step of doing the baklava on the tray is basically butter, and lots of it. And you have to have a brush. My brush is the barbecue brush that I use for barbecuing when on the grill. Obviously some other people will have a better brush, but my brush does the job. And then I'm gonna start brushing the tray with nothing on it, so the baklava will not be sticky, right? And then this is a tricky one. You can have one or two sheets. First sheet, if it breaks from you, it's not a problem. The first sheet will be half of it outside and half of it inside. And the reason for that is when you finish with the last layer, I actually put 2 sheets, which is also okay. The reason for that is when you're done at the end, then you can wrap it all so the filling will not fall outside. You can do another one like this, 1 or 2 phyllo dough this way, and another one this way, and the rest should be easy. And I'm gonna bring my brush generously everywhere, even outside. If you don't brush it with butter, it breaks. So you have to keep brushing with butter, and that's why I'm saying that 2 sticks of butter may not be enough. So you may need another half stick or so. This part I missed. Yes. Okay, so done with the first part. Then the next one is you take in 1 sheet at a time. If you took 2 sheets, that's fine, but try your best to have 1 sheet or even 2 sheets, that's fine. So you put it here in the middle, fits well, put it here, and then guess what? More butter. Brush it. Again, sheet or 2, and put it in there, and more butter. And we will do this for maybe 6 or 7, 8 sheets. You kind of like eyeball it based on how much phyllo you have. You need to have at least half of the phyllo left when you layer it before you put the filling. So I did already about 2 or 3, so I'm gonna do probably 5 or 6 more, and then I'm gonna do the filling. So now I actually have almost about 10 layers on the bottom, and now is the time to put the filling. And I'm just gonna distribute it evenly throughout the sheet. Press it like this. And if I were to measure it, it probably would be less than ½ an inch, or maybe ½ an inch thick. It's almost like a, you can see it here, right? You don't want to make it too thick that it would be basically just the taste of the walnuts only, because you want to feel the feel of the taste when you eat the baklava, right? And you don't want to have it too thin either. So I thought like a pound for that, a pound of walnuts should be enough, or maybe more than enough, but I think that would be the package that you should buy. Some for my daughter, because she loves it. She loves the inside of it. So I'm going to get some for her. So I'm almost done with it. So as I was saying, give or take. So it's working perfectly. The next thing is with the butter again, lightly, just brush it, hardly touching, but the taste of the butter will be a little bit mixed with the walnut filling. And then the next thing, I'm gonna put the continue putting the filo. One at a time. First one covered like this. Maybe I should put one more just to make sure that the walnuts will not go through the filo. So go like this, and you guys know the trick now. Butter. Okay, now I've been putting more sheets on the top. I would say I put 6 or 7 sheets already, and each time I put the sheet of the filo, I basically brush it throughout with butter. Now I have about, say, 4 or 5 sheets left. I maybe need to do probably one or two more. Before I actually start closing it. Okay, then I have to wrap it up. So I'm going to take one this side, close it, and then the other one kind of like this. Right? So you start with the small part of the tray, then the big one, big side, and then the smaller side again. Cover it. And then the last one, close it like this. It's okay if it breaks. I'll show you how to fix it later. Then butter. As you can see, maybe some of the parts the butter did not reach it, and it became a little bit dry inside. That's, on my part, a mistake, but you try your best. And then you bring a butter knife and you try to kind of like push it inside the tray like this. Push it down inside the tray, and we're almost done here. And then that's why I left a few sheets of the filo. Those will be the ones that kind of cover the mistakes that I've done. Or not mistakes, but kind of like whatever cracks and stuff like this towards the end. So one, butter, then do it again. You center it like this. And then maybe the last two ones to come out. Like I was saying, you don't have to be perfect. Sometimes you may want to take 2 at a time. Sometimes you want to take 1 at a time. have to put all this, but since I have few sheets left, I actually put them in the fridge and crack. But if you're going to use them right away, then you can actually put them in the plastic bag that they came with and put them in the fridge. If you're going to use them like maybe the day later or so, but otherwise you have to finish them right away. So done, last sheet. Tray like this. Here you go. Perfect. The last part we have to do before we put it into the oven is basically cut it. You don't want to cut it before, after you bake it, because it becomes flaky and it will fall apart. So you want to cut it at least halfway, if not the whole way, so when it comes out from the oven, you can just continue to cut or press harder so it becomes pieces like you guys see in the place when you buy it. So we have here 11, so I would say with my eyeballing it, and then I'm going to go in the middle like this, and I'm going to kind of cut it. And sometimes I do use a ruler to cut based on how many pieces I need. And then so this is half, and then the other one would be another half like this, kind of eyeball it, and then you go like this, same one like this, you have to be a little bit slow because sometimes it's sticky, then the pillow kind of get caught in the knife. Then we go like this, kind of, again I'm saying like you can use the ruler and you cut it in the middle. I can actually say 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, probably three-way. Doesn't have to be perfect. If you're gonna sell this and you're gonna sell it by piece, obviously you want to make it to be perfect, but it's for home use. You can just cut it. If one is big and one is small, it's no big deal. So, some people like to leave it square like this. Some people like to make it triangle, and I like to actually make it triangular shape because this is the tradition shape. And then now we're gonna go sideways like this. I press a little bit in between so the knife will not pull it, right? You go like this. Way. this one, you kind of know the trick. Again, as I was saying, you should not cut it after, before you do what I'm doing now. If you put it without cutting, you will never be able to cut it afterward. It's going to fall apart. So that's what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 times 4 is 24, and since I cut it half, so it's 48 pieces. And this is basically what it is. I have a little bit butter left. I could actually just to make it shiny, but we're very much done. We're gonna put it in the oven in 325 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes until it's golden. And I'm gonna show you how it looks like when it's out from the oven. So this is the final. I just got it out of the oven, and that's what it looks like, nice and crispy. I mentioned that it took about 30 minutes, but I think it took a little bit more, about 45 minutes, in temperature of about 325 degrees to 350. Now, when it's hot, you take the syrup, and then you go through the opening as much as possible. So when you go through the opening, then the syrup gets inside the baklava. And that's basically it. You finish. So, like this. And then if you have some more after you go through the opening, you go through the whole baklava until you get the syrup finished. As I mentioned before, it's about 1 of the glass that you guys saw, cup of sugar, and 1 glass of water. That's the whole thing. And like that. And then you can, before you serve it, you go over the opening with the knife one more time, because it's not cut all the way as I mentioned. And here it is. And as we say in Egypt, بالهنا والشفا.